Hi guys, it's Steve from Disruptive Wealth Creation. In the first instance, I'd like to thank everybody for supporting this channel. We've reached a new milestone and I've got 200 subs. So thank you for that. Today we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency, again, investigating some of the unanswered questions that people have. So thank you for asking me these questions. We're going to hopefully share some answers with you. Before we finish, we have raster stocks and a small discussion on NFTs. So please stay to the end and watch that. And next Tuesday, when I bring my next video out, we're going to be talking about some really heavy stuff. We're going to be talking about why Russia's banned Bitcoin, why China's banned Bitcoin, and what's going on in El Salvador, and what the SEC is doing with the XRP. So there'll be lots to talk about, a lot of controversial stuff, a lot of interesting stuff, and stuff that's going to affect Bitcoin. So make sure you watch it. Right, now let's get into it. It's Steve from Disruptive Wealth Creation. I'd like to welcome Nate Palmentier from his channel, Nate Palmentier, and all about crypto investing and stuff like that. Nate, I asked you to come on the channel because I recently did a video on cryptocurrency, and Finance ABC asked me a lot of questions which I was struggling with. So I'm going to ask you some of those same questions, and hopefully we'll get some answers. Let's get going. So first of all, cryptocurrency, in sort of plain English language, what is it? What is it actually?
Well, cryptocurrency in like the simplest form is internet money.
Okay.
When you read guys like Anton Antonopoulos, he talks about it being internet money. It's a currency that is, well, it's very dynamic and it's different on so many levels. But if we just start at Bitcoin, it's a currency that's produced after a certain kind of work is done, computations from a computer, and then it produces a reward for those computations.
Right. Okay, that's fine. So then the next question is miners, because when we think of miners, you know what we think of, don't we? We think of people underground with shovels, pickaxes, machinery, and that is the wrong message when it comes to cryptocurrency. So explain to me what's a miner in crypto language.
Right, so there's a lot of terms in crypto that are confusing. Miners, wallets, addresses, all these things can be confusing because we equate them to our normal lives and normal world, right?
Yeah.
So a miner is like a group of people or a pool, or could be even one person, could just be me. I could be a miner, right?
Yeah.
That uses a high-powered computer or high-powered GPU to solve these equations. So when you and not every cryptocurrency uses miners.
Okay.
Only proof of work cryptocurrencies actually use miners, and then there's other cryptocurrencies that use essentially delegates. So people that hold the cryptocurrency and validate the transactions. So a miner really is a highly powered computer device that solves an equation, a super complicated math equation, and then through that, they get rewarded.
Right.
So how it works, Steve, is every time we send Bitcoin over the blockchain, block, and in a block, it only has a certain amount of information. Right. So for Bitcoin, it's 8 megabytes. And so they try to validate that transaction. When it says it's validating transactions, what is happening is these miners are working really hard, extremely hard to solve this puzzle. And then once the puzzle's solved, that miner gets the reward.
Right.
But as people use higher powered computers and more computation power on the network, what Bitcoin does is it makes it harder. The code actually makes it harder to mine.
Yeah.
So as more and more computation power come into play, it makes it harder and harder and harder.
Yeah.
And you need more and more computation power.
Yeah, I've heard this because what I've heard is that if you're somebody that wants to be a miner, and like you've just said, I could be a miner, you can be a miner. We wouldn't want to be mining for Bitcoin because that would be too tough. But there are other cryptocurrencies that might be worthwhile and easier to mine. Would that be correct?
Yeah, you're bang on with that, Steve. So when Bitcoin first came out in 2009, you could actually mine it on your laptop with just a simple CPU, and then you needed a GPU after that, and then you need several laptops.
Okay.
And your computer's working so hard at these computations that it heats up, and like people's laptops have actually like caught fire because they're just computing so hard.
Yeah.
And then cryptocurrencies like Litecoin came out.
Yeah.
And they used a different type of code where you could mine it on your laptop.
Okay.
But since then, you've had to get higher computers. And there's been so many cryptocurrencies that have started that way.
Yeah.
Mine it on your laptop. This is really easy.
Yeah.
But then it just gets harder and harder as people jump on it, right?
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this question, Nate. Let's just say I've got a son, which I have got a son, okay? And let's just say he likes doing lots of gaming, which in my situation, that is true. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want him spending hours and hours doing gaming. I'd rather him do some mining and make some money. Now, if that was the case, where would I start? And how much would it cost me to, say, upgrade my computer? Any ideas on that one?
Yeah, so Steve, there's several ways that you could do this. I really don't know if it's profitable for us to be mining, but you can go on Amazon and buy an ant miner. So it's like this small device.
Yes.
It's just like a supercomputer basically.
Right.
And these go for $1,500 for a used one that's like 5 years old that may not even be powerful enough anymore, to newer ones that could be $5,000 to $10,000 per unit. So you can get like a computer that would mine Ethereum, and it might take you a year. Yeah. It might take you 2 years to pay off that before you start bringing money in. And I do have friends that have bought 3 miners for Ethereum 3 years ago. Yeah. This is 3 years ago, right? Sure. And it took them about a year and a half to pay it off, but then it started producing a little bit more. But as, like I said, as more computation power comes in, then it gets harder and harder to mine. Yeah. So I never really thought I'd be able to scale enough to make enough. No. Yeah, I mean, you do see pictures of these big, massive warehouses with literally hundreds of computers, and you think, well, there's no way I could compete with that. And then, of course, there's the other issue of electricity, because it's okay spending all day on the computer, but when you get the electricity bill at the end of the month, that's something that you might need to worry about. Yeah, and so when I'm talking about them paying that back, I'm including those electricity costs as well. Oh, right, okay. So it all depends on where you live, though. And my friend has those 3 miners. He's actually in Quebec, Canada, province in Canada, and electricity is super cheap there. If I was, I live in Ontario, I live close to Toronto, Ontario. Electricity is very expensive in Ontario. So it would take even longer. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't equate in like downtime. What if it breaks? What if you have to service it? What if something catches fire? My goodness, like these things produce so much heat. Sure. So yeah, when I first got into crypto in 2017, late 2016, I did look into mining.
Yeah.
And after like looking through it all, the research just suggested, you know what, it's better just to buy Bitcoin, invest all your money that way, and hold it. That's your best investment. If I took $5,000 right now, an ant miner, or if I took $5,000 right now and bought $5,000 in Bitcoin, by the time I paid off that ant miner and it started actually producing money for me, it would have been better for me just to buy and hold.
Sure. Okay, well, let's just move on then to another question. Again, this was one that Finance ABC asked me. And the question was, okay, so I buy Bitcoin and I keep it. So it's kind of like keeping it under the bed because you're not doing anything with it. It's not actually producing any income. So is there any kind of income that comes from Bitcoin? Or is it just a currency that you buy and you just wait for the volatility to go up or down before you make any money?
So this is where your own risk aversion comes into play. So there are platforms that will give you a certain percentage back in Bitcoin. So in the United States, there's, and I can use it as well. You can probably use it in the UK. There's a service called BlockFi.
Yes.
And so BlockFi, you could transfer your Bitcoin onto BlockFi and they'll give you 5% back in whatever currency you want. So you can say, I want Ethereum back, and they'll give you Ethereum back in interest, or Litecoin, or whatever it is. I have a portion of my Litecoin on BlockFi, and I get 6.5%.
Hi guys, so we'd just like to say a big thank you to Nate Polmatier for helping us with answering those cryptocurrency questions. He's got a great channel. He does crypto for beginners, so check it out if you have time. Now let's move on to Ruster Stocks, and we've got a question about NFTs. A little bit NFTs. So NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Basically, I think the definition, as they say, is what it is. It's a unit of data that is stored on a digital ledger, obviously called the blockchain. So basically what it is, it's like, it's something that you cannot copy. It's an original. It could be a picture, it can be a video, and the way it works is that what you can do is that if you've got a tweet or something like Jack Dorsey had, he sold that tweet for $2.9 million. Now, obviously, people can go on Twitter and they can find that tweet free of charge. And I think we had that conversation before, and we had a good laugh about it. You know, that people could make copies. But it's like if you had a Picasso oil painting, you've got the original Picasso oil painting, but there'll be prints in the shop that people can buy for 10, 20 bucks, you know, if they want to, but you've got original. Okay. So I think that's the most important thing to know about NFTs, is that you're the only person in the world that has that NFT. Okay.
Right.
But the other things that you do need to know is that the person who gave you that NFT, they still actually own it, and they can still make copies. So you can't stop them making copies. Okay. Right. But you've still got the original. Okay. Now
that's good. That's good. I didn't know that.
There was one other thing I found out, which is also very interesting, and that is, if say you're an artist, let's say you do a drawing, and then that drawing becomes an NFT, okay, and you then I sell that drawing to you, and you buy it because I'm an artist, and I've done the drawing, and I've sold it to you as an NFT. I can put something in the contract which says that every time you pass that drawing on and sell it on to somebody else, I get commission. So as somebody who's a creator, you can make a bit of money on NFTs.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, but I think people, you know, there's a lot of people out there, you know, we're all speculators in one way or another, and this is like a new art form, you know. So people, you know, people know about, you can buy wine, you can buy a racehorse,
You know, you can buy an oil painting, and this is just another extension. This is just something else, and it's on the digital platform. And obviously, we're moving towards the digital age, so it kind of makes sense to buy NFTs.